Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Rissy, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome back to another episode of Winning in Business, and I'm super excited about my guest today. Today, I am interviewing Shannon Schindler Redman, and she is the owner of Our Free Water Store. Shannon is a woman committed to impacting and empowering women to live the lives they love. She is a mom, wife, and gives back to her community by being a bright light to everyone she meets and by giving away the world's best water. And we are going to learn more about that today in this episode. So Shannon, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Yeah. So we always start off with how did you get into what you do? I know I know your journey, and I know you just didn't start with your water store. So how did you end up doing what you do? Share a little bit. Give us some background.
Yeah, that's a funny story. I spent 18 years in corporate tax and accounting, right? Reinvented myself in 2012 and hit the reset button, literally. And I landed myself in the world of roofing, if you could believe that. So I did that for 2.5 years. And honestly, I was on the internet late one night. It was winter, and I'm a go-getter. I was kind of bored. I couldn't climb on roofs. I'm like, what can I do? Part-time on the weekends and the evenings, And I ran across an ad looking for people to make phone calls. And the first thing that they made me do was watch the science of this water. And I tell you, when once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Once I heard it, I couldn't unhear it. And as a mom, it resonated for me. And so 2017, I began and haven't looked back since.
That's a fabulous. And, it is very interesting from taxes to roofs to water, right? I don't know. There might be a thread in there somewhere.
Might be.
Clearly, for the roofs, at least, you were doing, at that point, you were doing sales, correct? I mean, you were one of their top, right? I mean,
yeah. So that really comes into the, aha moments of my life, right? The first is alignment, right? Mm-hmm. So back in 2012, I really got who I was at my core. And here's what's so. The world needs who you were made to be, right? And so it is our job as spiritual beings living this, human experience to discover what that is. And that may look like, clearing out, all the stories, clearing out the limiting beliefs, and really owning who you are and align and hone into that. And then it was all about mastering systems, right? Follow systems. And I learned that in roofing, right? So a storm comes in, what do? You go canvas a zip code, you send out letters, you knock on doors, you send out more letters, you knock on more doors, you put signs in the yard, you shake hands, and even that was aligned for me. And here's why. Because so often I think people define themselves by the job that they have. But what's so is when you are in alignment, it doesn't matter what you do, you will, and this is my third point, exude joy, right? So alignment for me, when I discovered who I was to equip and empower women, guess who's answering the door in the roofing industry? Women, right? And what do I get to do? I get to be of service to these women during a really scary time. And then it was to see the system from, them in this scary moment to them, to the fun of at the kitchen table picking something out. It is a system. So I mapped that over, in the water world, it literally was January 2017, I began, and it was, okay, what would the system look like? What would the system have to look like? So we literally delivered water. We delivered water for 4.5 years. And it was fresh water every 2 days for 10 days. And that was the system. And then there was an email drip campaign. And then each time we delivered water, there was a piece of literature, because when you just know. And our commitment was to educate and equip and empower families to take back control of their health. So how do we do that? It's through pieces of education, right? We would do presentations at their kitchen table. And then, after the 10 days, it was, okay, there's a system here for, what would you like to do? There's 3 steps. And then after they purchase, there's a system for installation. And after it's installed, then there's a system for everything. And so, and there's a system, like, even inside of a pandemic, right? So we had a pandemic hit, and it was okay. Like, now what could your system look like? So we spun our business online. And we created a system for that. So 2020 was a pivotal, mind-blowing year, just because, number one, I was 100% aligned. Number two, I created a system, and then God enters in, right? Like, he's been there all along, but then there was a really big God moment, and he said, "Now you're going to open a store." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're going to give away 10,000 gallons of water a month." And I'm like, "Lord, like, we've been delivering water. How are we going to do that? How do we expand? And he's like, "Open a store." The world is shutting down, all businesses are closing. He says, "No, open." And so we faithfully followed. And, and that brings me to my when you can do what you love in service of others, exquisite joy follows. Yeah. So it is like, pinch myself sometimes, and it's all in his hands. And I'm ready for the next level.
So, okay, hold tight on the next level. Now I gotta write that down so we come back to that. Okay, so let's go back to just the going from, you're going out into people's homes doing this water, and then now you have a store. Yeah. And what was that process like for you? Like, even just shifting and having people then come to you.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, it was seamless. Like, literally, it was like planted, like God planted in my mind and my heart. And in 4 months we were open. It literally just became a clear pathway. What are we going to need? We're going to need jugs. What are we going to need? We're going to need a new email drip system. What are you going to need? You're going to need a grand opening. What are you going to, it was just like, the pathway became very clear, and it was scary as heck, right? So, because now you got rent, you got insurance, you got a little bit of light bill. And here's what I'm really clear. If you want to be great at something, look at what everyone else is doing and identify what's missing. And I felt, not only in this company, but in this industry, what was missing was this immense, give it away, right? Give it away. So before, we were delivering, and all we could deliver for was about 10 days. Now, a few people went over, and it was a 10-day program. And people knew in 10 days, this is what they wanted. When we opened the store, it was like, how could we create this? How could we create an experience for people such that they want to buy, that they not only got educated, that this is what they wanted for the rest of their life, for their family, but how could they have an experience that was undeniable? 3 months, we give them 3 months worth of water. And at any point during that 3 months, they get to choose, do they want to step into, having this technology for the rest of their life or not? And I get to come to our store every day and be of service. I get to create relationships, sow seeds into people and give them my heart and my love. And in the process, like, we are creating a wellness center. Like, we have, and people were like, okay, Shannon, who do you know for, fill in the blank, whether it be a chiropractor or a gym or we are creating a whole mecca of wellness and really being sought out in the community for health and wellness and healing.
Yes, that is, it is amazing. And me knowing you as I do, right, and seeing you as that light for everyone. Like, I know that when people walk in there, you truly do give your heart and soul to every customer, every person that you encounter. You exude that when you enter a room. So it is very apparent, and it's really cool for the people that know you as well, just to be able to watch you and be a part of that, right? It's really neat. So kudos to you for all that you have done and for really building. I mean, you out in the water industry, how many stores are there like this?
One.
Yeah. Right.
Well, and people thought we were crazy, right? People thought we were crazy when we were delivering water, right? People thought we were crazy. And people thought when we opened the store, we were crazy. And I think that is what lights me up the most, is the people who actually change the world are the people that people think are crazy.
Yeah, right. And you have such a big vision, and that's what it takes to change the world, is the big vision.
Amen.
For sure. Now, one of the questions I always ask, because, there are challenges. And so we like to make, what are the challenges you faced as a business owner? Because every business owner faces them. What did you face?
Yeah. How much time do we have? The challenges we have faced. Oh, my Lanta. Number one was breaking out of working for someone else. That's number one. To really, fulfilling on my word, right? I so vividly have a picture of, it was in 2017, of my daughter getting off the bus and literally running into my arms because I said, I will. And I did. And I think that is the biggest challenge for big visionaries and big dreamers such as myself, is to fulfill on it, to actually take the action to fulfill. And so it goes from little moments to the big moments, the small wins to the big successes. And in the beginning, it was all fun, and we were like high on, on living water and life and the momentum. And, I think it was the continual reinventing, is like, okay, maybe the first year was just luck. And then the second year is, okay, the systems are working. And then the third year, now what are we going to do? We had people issues, some people that said they wanted to, come along with us. And, we have planted a flag, my husband and I, and this is who we are. And I think people who live big lives also open themselves up for big retaliation or gossip or fill in the blank. People make stuff up, and you can either trust in your faith and who you are and continue on, or it will wipe you out. And that's one of the gifts. And being partnership with my husband is I always have a champion. He is my right-hand man. He's my installer. He's my, my service manager. And he, honestly loved me until I could love myself. And it is not only through business, but through relationships that we get to develop and craft, who we are, and this alignment, like remembering why I came. And so being this business owner, riding the wave of the good and then the holy cow, what just happened, to it's another year, and then a pandemic, when literally the world is shutting down and everyone says X, fill in the blank. And I'm like, I think we have the world's greatest technology. I think we've been underutilizing our 2.5 strong acidic water. Like that, I mean, it was just like, it was like light bulbs went off about a water we had never really ever talked about. And then a pandemic hits, and then we spun online. And so it's being able to stay true to your vision, being clear and present on your mission, follow the system, and just don't look up,
Yeah. Yep.
Celebrate everything and don't quit. And then when God hands you like another, because I'm really clear, like I found this with him. And then when he's like, okay, it's time to up level, like, and I'm really clear. I said, put me on the front lines, Lord, right? Like put me there. And he did. And when it was time to open the store, I mean, and that was probably one of the, like, it was like a low point. It was probably a really low point in our business due to some people things. And
okay. When you opened the store, we opened the store.
Okay. Yeah. And I said, we're going to plant our flag and we're going to do this anyway. And it's been the greatest gift. And we've been able to transform hundreds of thousands of people's lives in the process.
And you know what everybody needs during a pandemic and every day of their life is health. They need clean water, they need clean food, they need relationships, that, you know what I mean? All those
Amen.
things. I just remember standing in your store at the opening and seeing all the people that love and support you, that were there to cheer you on as your store opened in a weird time.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah. And I think it's I also think it's awesome because I think it takes a special couple to be in business together, is what I think. You know what I mean? Because you're around each other all the time. You're making decisions as husband and wife, as business owners, like you just all the time,
Yeah.
And so I really do think it takes a special couple to be able to do that with a similar vision. And the other thing about your vision, and you mentioned this, and just, one of the things that got you to where you are today is the system, right? Like always having that system in place, which is, fabulous. And I'm sure that every new thing that you come up with, then it's like, what's the system for this, right? It just has to be that system. Yeah.
It has to be a system.
So you mentioned next level, you're ready to go the next level. Yeah. So what are your goals? Like what is that next level? And I want to know, Shannon, from you, like in life and in business, because I know they're so intertwined with you, right? Like, but so what's your next level?
They are. I do want to put one more thing in for a challenge. This.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this really has been the most challenging year personally.
Okay.
Yes. Literally almost died, like 5 times in January. And then again, just a couple months ago. And I didn't have a system for that. However, I have always been the kind of woman who builds the airplane and just, while it's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to create a system. And unbeknownst to me, it was the level of that I was able to receive. Asking for help, and my mom stepping up, and some people in my networking community, my soul sister. And so while personally it was one of our hardest years as a couple, it was the most fulfilling year professionally to, like you said, see, feel, receive all the people to support us and are like, oh no, you're not going down now. Like,
yeah.
So without a blink, our store remained open every day, period. Someone showed up to fill containers and love on our people and continue the mission. So that is when you can have your mission stand without you and flourish, like that legacy is ultimate dream come true.
Yeah. Which I feel like as business owners, that is like the goal, right? To be able to have the store run without you so that
That's
then
right.
you can be moving on to whatever your next level is, which you'll share in a minute, you know what I mean? But doing that and, you know what they say, like you need to take a month vacation to figure out what systems are working and what systems are not. Now, your vacation was a little different because you know what I mean? It was not a fun vacation. It was you had to step away to take care of Ken. And, last year I had to do the same thing with Mark in November and December. Like he was sick. We had hospital trips. I mean, I was watching the man just basically die on my couch. It was awful. Yep. And, that's when the relationships that you have built and I feel like this is for every woman out there when you are willing to receive the help. You know what I mean? And that's, I think for us, the hardest things because we're like, I'm going to put on my Wonder Woman cape and I'm going to do it all. And sometimes I felt for me, I don't know if you felt this way. It was like, oh, I don't even know what to like I might need help, but right now I don't know what to ask for. So I'm just not going to ask, you know? And then I know that like little things, like my one friend, she's like, look, you're not going to tell you what you need. Like you can either tell me what you and Mark want in that refrigerator, or I'm just going to buy whatever I want for you. She's like, but something is coming for you. You know what I mean? Like it was like, I'm not giving you a choice of you either pick what you want or I'll just bring whatever, that I was like, oh, okay. So it is that receiving the help.
Well, and allowing, I think so often, and I'll just speak for women in success, right? So when we have had to do whatever you've had to do to get where we are, like we feel like we're muscling it up and having to do it alone. And it really, like these little tiny moments where I got to watch, if I don't allow this person to contribute, I'm robbing their joy, their joy. And I'm like, that's on me.
Yes, because just like you want to give away however many gallons of water a month, people want to be there to help when needed. And yes, you are 100% right. When we don't ask for that help or we don't receive it, we totally rob someone else their joy, because that's what we love doing is helping.
That's right. Yeah. And that was, so personally, I'm glad you brought that in. That was the biggest challenge, of our business career.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to go to next level yet? Like
sure, next level. Okay. Yeah. Next level, right? Always be upgrading.
Yep.
So next level, my goals for the upcoming year. And again, I love to speak. Not only is it speak, first of all, let me back up. I'm all about creating a life that I love, right? In a total alignment and total frequency of who God made me to be. And so every year right now, in fact, my soul sister and I are having a vision board class tomorrow, I guess that is. But, I'm always dialing in, reflecting back, how did this year go, right? What worked, what didn't work, reassessing, reevaluating. What did I say I was going to do? Did I do it? And then look at, review right back to my 5-year, 3-year goals and go, okay, what do I need to do in the next year to have that come to fruition? And, in our company, we do have levels. So of course it would be, 6A2-2 within the next 2 months, hyping myself for 6A2-3, ultimately opening more stores.
Oh, right? Okay.
I would love to see 2 more. free and clear. Free and clear. Launching a podcast in the next month. Reopening my goddess experience. And what would be really great is to complete my Bling the Bungalow total home renovation.
Yeah.
Over year.
Well, and that was something you didn't say also, right? And the whole challenges of things of while, Ken's not doing well and this, you're having people step in this room, you're redoing a home.
Yes. Kelly, I'm going to tell you that home renovation is such a external visual of like what real transformation on the inside looks like. And just to give you some background, this is a home that I purchased with my previous husband, Savannah's father, 21 years ago. And 13-year drug addicted, alcoholic, abusive husband. And, I dove into personal growth and development. I dove into, discovering me, transforming me, reinventing me in 2012, just literally hitting the reset button to like, what's now, to, traveling the world, to literally pinch me. I'm doing my dream profession. It feels so good. And then again, doing what I said I would do in 2020, which is renovate the home. Here it is. And to feel, see, hear that experience. And I'll give you just one example, the bathroom. So this is a space that I would go to when Scott reared his ugly head. And it was where I went for safety. And so here we are renovating this tiny bathroom. And I had no idea what a tiny little space could hold, right? And trust me, I have done hundreds of thousands of dollars of work, right? Not only mindset work, rewiring my brain, energy work, do energy work in the house, like, I thought I had done it all. And then it's time for demolition. And Kelly, I mean, I get why people move because it's just easy. And I'm like, no, I am clearing out what no longer serves me. So we go to do this demolition in the bathroom, and we get to the floor, and so we're doing all the demolition our first selves, and it feels so good, right? And so we get to the floor, we get the first layer off of the floor, we get the second layer off of the floor. The floor looks pretty good, but there's still a layer there. We check in with the contractor, he's like, nope, you got to get that final layer. And I'm like, this is such a physical visualization of what it no kidding looks like to leave nothing unturned in your life. And in the process, we had to actually fire that contractor. And we had literally the cabinets are arriving, we're living on subfloors. We have, everything is moved to the basement. We have no house. We have to fire the contractor, and by the grace of God, we end up hiring, a gentleman that I used to work for in the roofing industry. And he on a handshake comes over that night. I'm like, literally, the cabinets are arriving. Can you, will you? And he said yes. And so it's been 8 months because we are the side job, right? We are the weekends and evenings. And it has been an exercise in grace and flow and recreating and getting so present to, it took you 21 years to get here. What's the rush? Actually enjoy it. So it has just been this massive clearing, this massive healing. And I just got to experience the two most joyous days one with my, mom and my soul sister and my husband and my daughter and her boyfriend on Christmas Day. And then I had my dad over the next day. And we still don't have the cabinets up yet, right? But what I'm saying is we're all around the island in this space that is not complete. And when is our life ever complete, right?
Right.
So it's not complete. And like the feeling of joy and connectedness and conversation and experiences and memories and worthy, like I am worthy to receive this exquisite space that is taking time to develop. What a gift I got to give myself this year in a Bling the Bungalow, who is struggling with their home renovation, which I assert is almost everyone. If they can come back and listen to this podcast, it can be, it really is your perspective, and it is a gift you get to give yourself. What am I willing and unwilling to put up with? Is the work the quality that you want it to be? Is the craftsmanship, are the things you're picking up, is the colors, is the look and the feel and the sound and the vibration of your home and actual expression of who you are and what you're creating yourself to be, and then to receive that.
I just want to take a minute to talk about just the layers of the floor you were talking about, and, we know the way the unconscious mind works, right? And it reveals things that are ready to be revealed as you work on them. And I think there's people out there that literally are like, well, yeah, but I did that and now I'm done. Well, my guess is that peeled back, like I always think of it as the onion, right? But I love the floor because we all know about the floor, that's just easy. But no, that probably peeled back some layers, and now we're to the next set of layers. And what is the work that needs to be done for that layer to pull it back and then just keep going? And, I don't know your thoughts on this. I feel like I will be continually peeling back layers. Well, until I'm no longer breathing. You know what I mean?
That's right. So there's dirt on my face. Exactly.
Yes.
100%.
And I feel like that, I know you, and I know the work you've done and continue to do. And the fact that that metaphor was there for you, as you see this third level that you really were like, okay, here we go, So, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I feel like you probably answered this question in everything we've talked about, but what accomplishments are you really proud of that you want to share?
Yeah. Doing what I said I would do. And it starts with Savannah getting off the bus. August the 25th, 2017, I have a literal snapshot in my mind of her getting off the bus and running into my arms because I surprised her. It's the first day I'm home. And it was really the first time, it was a total experience of doing what I said I would do. I told her, I'm working so hard to be home when you get home. And it started there. And then it was, I will create six figures, and we celebrate that. Or then when I hit $1 million in sales, I said I would, and I did. I said I would renovate the home, and we are and for those listening, our word is everything, not only to ourselves, but to our children. And I'm literally reminding her of the things that I said that we would do, and we're doing them because I never lose sight of my word. But the biggest is the day she got off the bus and I was there, and she's literally running down the street, I'm like, this is everything. This is everything. This is everything.
I what came to mind when you said all that was, say what you want, right? I mean, we're coming up on the beginning of the year here, right? And people are setting goals. And I think the biggest goal that I feel like the theme of this is to be in alignment, right? If you're not in alignment with yourself, it doesn't matter what goals you're making, they're not going to happen, right? So number one, be in alignment with yourself, but to really say it write it, and do it. And I feel like, there's so many people that will do things for everybody else, but they won't keep true on their word for themselves. And
it's not.
Go ahead.
So yes, but it's not even the like outside. What do we say to inside? Like inside.
Right. Yep. So, and I the bond that you and your daughter share, and like just the pride that exudes from you of what an amazing human she is also. Like, I know that not only that moment, but just her in general, like your love for her is, I would say, a big accomplishment,
My cup runneth over. Yeah. She is my greatest joy. And it's we, as a mom, as a leader, as a business owner, as a woman who has overcome, who is overcoming, who is healed, who is healing, the greatest gift I want to give her is that she can have, do, and be anything she says. And how do I know? Because I've done it. I'm doing it, and I continue to do it. And she is an elite performer. She is at the top of her game, and she does it with joy, and she does it with heart and compassion. And she now wants to be a Arizona Razorback Palm Squad.
Yes.
So I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm like, I can already see getting a condo in Arkansas. Like, I'm driving down on the weekends. Like, I like feel it, see it, hear it, and we will be there. And let's look at other colleges too. And we're going.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So, Shannon, it's been a joy interview. I feel like people should have gleaned like 17 nuggets from you. You know what I mean? At least. But where would you like to lead the listeners to after this podcast? LinkedIn, Facebook, website, like I will put all the links. But, I mean, like, where do you want them to find you at?
Well, come on in our free water store, number one. Okay.
So if you're local, if you're local,
come on in.
I will definitely put the address to our free water store. It is in Chesterfield, Missouri, if you're in the area. If they're not in the area, how can they get in touch with you?
Facebook is the best. I am on Instagram, but I'm not very good at it. So yet. I'm a Facebook girl. Drop me a message. Let's connect. Give me a shout. Call me. Like, I really am an open book. I love to equip and empower people and women and families. And, it's pretty simple.
Excellent. Well, I thank you so much for spending your time here with me today. And I just know that the listeners are going to get so much out of listening to this. So I totally appreciate you.
Yeah, Kelly, I so acknowledge and appreciate the profound difference you are making in the world. I have seen you rise. I've seen you stand on stages. I see and feel and hear the work that you were doing, the work you've done with me. I will never forget the stand that you are, that we have our lives. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you also. I appreciate it. So for those of you listening, share this podcast, because there are people that need to hear this for sure. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.